Hey guys, welcome back to my Wasted series. It's a series where I created because I've noticed a lot of company did an absolutely big ass fuck up that now they're wasted in terms of GTA. And quite ironically, today's video is about Rockstar, especially the GTA 6 problems that came up. So why is Rockstar wasting itself with abysmal decision making that basically been going on for a bit of a month now? So if you guys haven't heard in the news, Rockstar laid off 20 to 30 employees. I'm not sure the number here. They're always using between 20 and 30, and over the pretense of gross misconduct and content leak. So basically, what Rockstar said that we fired 30 people because they've been leaking GTA 6 content through Discord. Now, what's weird about this is we haven't ever seen these kind of leaks before. We've seen some leaks in earlier development, but those were because of hacking attempt, but not any recent ones. So it's kind of weird. So what happened is that another news source broke out saying that the actual layoff came because these 30 developers tried to unionize. All right. So now we have two side of ideas as side stories, side of the story, and we need to figure out which one is actually true. But come on, who's gonna believe, the big ass corporation or the small guys, the developers? And companies have been very well known for relying on crutches, and developers never make actual good money. Yeah, unionize usually always the idea when things aren't going very well. So to give you guys a summary of what happened from then till now, uh, I'm gonna give you a timeline and then go into context of each one, what happened and where we are right now. So, from November 1st to the 2nd, news breaks that Rockstar has fired 30 to 40 GTA 6 developers, officially for gross misconduct related to leaks and confidential information. This news broke out from by Bloomberg, Jason Schreier, and ITV News claimed came from IWGB. So IWGB is the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain. Now, on November 5, Bloomberg and other outlets report union claims that those fired were union organizers and members. The phrase union busting starts getting used publicly. On November 7th to November 10th, alleged Rockstar employee posts on Reddit describing ruthless HR meetings, we'll get to that by the way, and says everyone fired was a union member. Says the union Discord never contained leaks, only organizing talk. On November 12th to 14th, IWGB, again the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain, files legal claims for unfair dismissal, blacklisting, and trade union victimization. They say this is a plain and simple union busting. Reports say that Rockstar declined to meet to resolve this informally, so it goes to legal action. Rockstar is not budging, and they're just still going ahead with the story of the gross misconduct and confidential information leaks. Now, in mid to late November, 200 plus current Rockstar staff signed an open letter demanding the fired workers be reinstated and condemning management. Protests outside the Rockstar North office in Edinburgh and other locations erupted. Workers talk about harsh conditions, burnout, and people being fired while on sick leave or parental leave. That is some serious allegations. Now, in December 2025, which is this month, IWGB is preparing for a tribunal. Rockstar is standing by its leaks and gross misconduct explanation and denying any anti-union motives. So everything is pointing to Rockstar being a ruthless company that busted down their employees being unionized to fight against the harsh environment that they're working in. And Rockstar just claiming no, they they were misconduct. There was a gross misconduct and leaks, and that's why we fired everyone. So this is where I'm a little bit lost, I'll say. If there is any leaks and gross misconduct, why not just show it? You know, why not just tell the world, hey, you guys are reporting that we are being these nasty union busters and that we're anti-employee and were doing some really bad shit. Here, this is the evidence that we collected that they were actually leaking confidential information. You could have done that, and just cleared your name, and then these employees would stay laid off. But see, there's the issue. You haven't done it, and you're still just saying, "Oh, well, there was gross misconduct. That's why we did this," and then that's just not enough to showcase what's really going on. Even now, Rockstar's main statement against this whole accusation is that last week we took action against a small number of individuals who were found to be disturbing and discussing confidential information in public forum. A violation of our company policy. This was in no way related to people's right to join a union or engage in union activities. That's the thing that they're saying. That's what they're going behind, and they're not going to change their stand whatsoever. Now, here's the crux of the issue. One of the developers that got fired came onto Reddit and explained their situation, explained what happened, explained what was going on, and how the whole firing came about. Now we're gonna read a little bit of it. I reread this before this video, but I'm gonna read a little bit of it to really drive home the unethical way the Rockstar conducted itself, right? So here we have it. It was written on Game Leaks and Rumors by I think by Wife Talks. This user, I think it's anonymous, so they don't get busted even more. So Rockstar game employee post about recent union busting are first verified by GTA Forums mod, so you know that is real. So it goes on to say, "Hey everyone, Rockstar employee for many years. Here on the 70, I want to remain anonymous, of course. I've been reading a lot of the discussion on here and elsewhere about the firing of more than 34 of my colleagues last week, 31 in the UK and 3 in Canada, and have seen a lot of disinformation and lies that are really concerning, particularly considering how so many folks are willing to believe the company's excuses." So this is coming from the actual developer, so you have to take, of course you have to take with a little bit of grain of salt, but the way they described how things went on is really not that hard to believe, because companies do usually do this. Last week, my colleagues who were in the studio were each individual messaged by HR for a short friendly meeting under the friendly guise of, "Hey, are you free for a quick chat?" Upon attending this meeting, they were handed an envelope with a short letter stating that their employment had been terminated for gross misconduct regarding posts made in Discord. They failed to provide any evidence when asked. See, that's what I say. Nor was any stated in the letter, and did not divulge any other information or reasoning, and no other reason. They refused the right to union representation in the disciplinary meeting. That's a huge red flag, by the way, because when you're fired, you have to have a reason why you're being fired. You have to give an evidence. You can't just, "Hey, by the way, you're done, bye-bye." That's not how the world works. Unfortunately, sometimes it works like that, but there are laws against it, especially in the UK. The UK is very, very harsh with its laws when it comes to employment, which is against the UK employment law. See, and we're front marched out of the studio with the meeting lasting less than 5 minutes. For colleagues who were not in the studio that day, they received a phone call from HR that lasted less than 2 minutes telling them they were fired and that they received the same letter as above. I am aware of one of employee who had a panic attack at this moment, and HR hung up on them during this panic attack, not caring at all about their well-being. This is something that really bothers me when it comes to HR. How can you be so fucking cold, stone cold, just so stone cold hearted that you would do this to people without even thinking about their well-being? Like, honestly. So, by the way, guys, these were not just some low-level developers that were removed, or interns or anything of the sort. They are very senior artists, animators, QA testers, designers, programmers, and producers, including leads, all super talented people who are proud of their work over multiple R-Star titles, and all they wanted was the best for Rockstar and their fellow employees. Some of these members were off sick, recovering from surgery, or on paternity leave. That is insane. And all this before Christmas. Dude, imagine. Okay, so they want to make this clear that the Discord wasn't public. It was a private Discord group that only contained Rockstar employees and the IWGB union official. This is how we know that the IWGB were able to break the news to the outlets and tell them, "Hey, this is what actually happened." This was union bus and nothing else. Everyone fired was a union member. They were and also predominantly from those who were on the union organization committees of each UK studio. Just 1 week before, the union had reached 200 members, taking us over 10% threshold required to seek recognition and begin engaging in collective bargaining, allowing us to negotiate directly with management on the key issues that affect us: worsening crunches, inadequate pay, and inflexible working arrangement, which is very well known in the gaming industry right now. These problems are very, very real, and we're always talked about this. It's always mentioned, and we always, like, every single one from consumer to developer, always says this, that we're under a lot of pressure, and this is the normal. Has been normalized in so many in so many companies in the gaming industry that it's just well known right now. They have fired over 34 of us now, and there were over 250 of us in the union employee Discord group. There is the fear, if they get away with this, they'll have nothing stopping them from doing this again and again. There you have it, guys. There you have it. So, what do you think this is all about, right? Why do you think that Rockstar did this? If they have reached up to 200 members, 200, that means they will have the ability to change the policies in the company. Now, we were not talking about a US company. We're talking about the branch. We're talking about Edinburgh branch, UK. So different laws. Okay, guys? It's not the same. Now, what I want to get in this video, I want to be clear about something. For me personally, I have always been up for unionizing the developers or any employee that working in the gaming industry, because for so many years, it has been a huge problem with and low drop in quality because of these toxic environment, low pay, and basically slave-like workforce. It is undeniably at this point that it's a known truth between all the gaming industry employees, and we even as consumers, we know it, that a lot of times when a game gets delayed, how many times do you hear this? Oh, I'm fine with the game being delayed, please just don't make the developers work in crunch hours, please don't make it worse on them, we want the developers to be healthy so we can get a good quality game. How many times do you hear people say this? How many times when a games get delayed we get happy about it because now we know that the developers or the animators or anyone working there is not suffering under last minute crunch and harsh environment and long hours. It is very, very well known. And guys, come on, who are we kidding? We know about this. And as consumers, it is our duty to let the industry management know that this is not okay and this should stop. And if this was the spark of its stopping, and if they actually win, that would be amazing. And as you've seen in the timeline, there are already protests in Edinburgh. There's already legal action being taken because this is a serious issue. What does Rockstar think? That it would put the fear of God in these employees if they fire the big people, the 30 people that were maybe in charge of this, that if they fire them, everyone will stay in line now? How is that a normal human being way of thinking? And with just like immediate firing by the HR too. I don't know, guys. Up for me, it is such a painful way to go about in the business world, and the business world needs some ethics back into it, because now it's been known for like 20 years that developers are in such a bad shape that even I have never even tried to get a job in the gaming industry because it is that bad. So guys, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if this has affected your purchase of GTA 6 or your idea of GTA 6 coming in 2026. How did it change your perspective on Rockstar? Did it change your perspective on GTA 6? Do you care about this? Do you not care about this? Do you only care that the quality stays the same even though the developers are working extra hard? I know we're not all cold-hearted about this, but let's be real, this is really concerning news, and no company should have this kind of power to just up and fire someone because they tried to unionize for better working environment. All right, let me guys know down below in the comments. I would appreciate a subscribe, a like. It will help me keep going with these videos. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now. Bye bye.